Alright guys, I know I promised you a removal installation video on this motor, but I videoed everything, I edited it, and when I got back to it, it was gone. I somehow or another erased all of it. And for those of you who have never edited a video or put a video on YouTube, editing is like horrible. It's like getting your eyes gouged out with a spoon. It sucks, it's boring. You know, you're constantly going back and forth redoing stuff. So that was a real bummer whenever I did all that. I mean, if I get my wife on it, she's a computer genius. Maybe she can dig up, you know, where I put it, or if I deleted it, maybe she can bring it back. But so all you're going to get now is a break-in video of this brand new crate motor. So first thing, we'll go over here to the fuse box. All right. Now the last thing you want to do with a dry motor is have it fire up. Alright, so I pulled the fuel pump relay, which is this one right here. You know, you can read this. It's kind of blurry, but the first one says cooling fan, headlamps, fog lamps, which this doesn't have, and fuel pump right there. So we yank that. That way we're not pumping any fuel into the cylinders. And what I also do is I pull all the plugs out. That way the motor's turning with no resistance. I mean, it's just cranking over and over, and I'm doing that to get oil pumping through the system, because remember, this motor's dry. And I also squirt a little shot of oil down into each cylinder just to lubricate the piston rings. Now, since you have your spark plug wires unplugged, you want to disconnect your coil wire too, which goes down in here. Now, if you don't disconnect your coil wire, when these things are trying to spark, what they do is look for a ground, okay? And they'll find a ground. You know, if it's 1.5 inches outside of the plug boot, these can jump a good inch out of the plug boot, but what that does is creates resistance. Air is resistance, so it creates a very high resistance when it's trying to jump out and find ground, and you can burn up your coil. So your best bet is just disconnect your main wire. And then I come into here, and we get the key. Come in, and we just crank her over. Now I've already cranked this over. Naturally, if anything really bad happens, I don't want to look like an idiot on camera any more than I already have. So you see, we want to crank until our oil light goes out. And can you hear the motor? The oil light's out, but you hear how there's no resistance in the motor. That's good. You just want to keep doing this for 3 or 4 minutes. In bursts like this, you don't want to run it non-stop or you'll burn up your starter. Now, 72,570. Got a new motor at 72,570 miles. What a shame. I have enough confidence that there's enough oil flowing through here. Like I said, I've been doing this for about 20 minutes now, cranking and uncranking and looking for leaks, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to grab a light. We are going to give a quick inspection for any leaks. Okay. I don't see any on the power steering. I see, oops, no coolant leaks, nothing here, nothing there. We'll grab a creeper and we'll slide underneath and take a real good look too. Okay. looks pretty good. Nothing there. Let's see here. That's moist for different reasons there. See that? Nothing wet there. We'll go in the back here. I had to replace a power steering line on this thing too. You can see it. That new one right there. It's pretty dry. Oil plug's not leaking. It's moist, but that's because of earlier whenever I pulled it out. I think we're good. I think we're going to take this off the jack stands and fire it up. Alright, here we go. We're back on the ground. We're ready to start. I just rechecked all the fluid levels, make sure everything was good. And we'll fire it up. See what we get. Let's keep our fingers crossed here, people. Oh, you need the keys. Damn it. I always forget that. Okay. Prime the fuel. Let's do that one more time. Yep, alright, here we go. Ha! What do you think of that? Parking brakes on. It's in drive. Radio works. Alright. Let's go out and take a look. Get us a flashlight. I don't see anything leaking. Alright. Now what we want to do is we're going to let this idle for about 20 minutes. Come up to operating temperature. I'm going to shut it down, recheck all the fluids. Then while it's still hot, we're going to start it back up and run it for 20 minutes at 1200 RPM. Then after you get that, you'll run it for 20 minutes at 2000 RPM. And that's like the dry break-in period of this motor. That's actually what this motor specifies in the manual. Now, depending on what motor you get, the break-in period might be different, so don't hold, this isn't etched in stone. Everything's a little different, so if you do what I tell you to and you blow your motor up, don't come back bitching to me because I don't care. I've given you, everything I can here. And that's about it. Well, in fact, my braking instructions just blew off the workbench. I mean, it's running phenomenal. I mean, typically, like when you put in a junkyard motor, it's got a miss, something's not quite right, you got a lot of troubleshooting to do. This thing is, look at it. It's smooth as silk. This is a crate motor I bought at AutoZone. $2,500. I'm pretty happy with this. I might talk people into doing crate motors more often. Let's go and check our gauges. Let's see here. Coolant temp's good. RPM right around 750, 800, somewhere in there, maybe a little more. Yeah, we're doing okay. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope this helped someone, and I do apologize for screwing up all the footage for the removal and installation, but shit happens. It is what it is. Have fun, guys. Bye.